He's gone for personal reasons. Yeah.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Jared, Nate was saying that of all the first round series this group has had, this has probably been the hardest 1 through 3 games. Like, what do you think it's been about this series where it's been so difficult for either team to really kind of gain a firm control?
They're a good team. That's why it's been one of the most difficult ones we've had. I think they're a really good hockey team. They're a deep hockey team, and they work extremely hard. You know, they're bought into their system and their game plan, and they compete within that plan. So it makes it difficult. To me, they're all difficult. You know, even some of the ones that we've won in the past at 4-0, it's still a player or two in each game that makes the difference in the hockey game. So just because a team sweeps doesn't make that an easy series, in my opinion. Not when you're part of it. Maybe as a fan watching it, but not when you're part of it.
Real quick, Jared, do you expect Val's situation to be a long-term thing, or is it?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then your 3 best players sort of showed up tonight and played really well. What did you sort of see from them, especially with McKinnon on both of his goals, sort of the individual plays he was able to make?
He was the difference maker that we've come to expect, you know, in big games, in must-win games, in critical games, regular season or playoffs. Played with great speed, great competitiveness, physical, and then when he got the puck, he was really tough to check. Yep.
Evan?
When you guys traded for Lars Eller, you envisioned a playoff performer. Are you kind of getting exactly what you expected at this point?
I think Lars is, as the intensity in these games goes up, and you know, they become more and more important, I think we're seeing more and more from Lars. You know, I think he's a guy that we can really trust on the defensive side of things. He's a big, strong, heavy body that can play against, you know, other teams' skill. He can win wall battles, like all the things that we know that he's good at from his time, especially in Washington. He's building that into his game here at the most important time.
Eric?
Jared, just to kind of go back on the Val thing, is this something where he's not with the team leading into Game 4, or is he here with the team?
He is not with the team at this point.
Okay. And then going to my question, sorry. This is not the same kind of, you know, wild card matchup you guys have had the last 2 or 3 seasons. Were you guys expecting this tough of a battle from the Kraken, or have you guys kind of been surprised at any point?
You guys, like, I know, like, they're a 100-point team, you know? Like, and we're not last year's team. We're a different team, you know? So it's, yeah, we were expecting. I mean, you don't get 100 points by accident. You know, I think you look at the teams that have made the playoffs in the West. I'll just focus on the West because that's where we're at. Every one of those teams deserves to be there. Every one of those teams is like within, 3 or 4 wins. Okay, you take overtime losses and some of those points into it. You're talking about an 82-game season where the margin is so small, okay? And teams deal with different adversity during the year. And it doesn't matter what type of team you were at the start of the year or middle of the year. It's the type of team you are at the end of the year, okay? And so we expected it to be tough. Again, you don't get 100 points by accident. It's going to be a tough series.
Kyle, then Peter.
Jared, just one last follow on Val. Can you comment on whether it's due to team discipline that he's not with the group right now?
No, he's not with the team for personal reasons. Yeah.
Peter Bob.
You guys had a bit of a slow start again tonight. A 2-part question about this. One, is there anything you can attribute the start issues to? And then secondly, how much does the experience of last year, having so many come from behind wins in the playoffs, help you guys this year as you kind of are?
Number one, I mean, I guess your opinion's different than mine. I didn't think we had a slow start. I thought we were competitive right from the drop of the puck tonight. They scored the first goal. That doesn't, for me, mean that was a slow start. I didn't feel like any player on our bench felt like we had a slow start. I liked the way we were shooting the puck in the first period. Some of the offensive zone time really evenly played first period for me. We got better as the game went on, certainly. Had larger stretches where I liked their game more than the first, but I thought first was a good period. They came hard in the first period, and they got a puck and a tip to the net. We killed a couple of big penalties. You know, it was pretty well-played hockey game by us. I thought we had some good chances. So what was the second part of the question?
Just how much does playing from behind a lot last season help?
Second part of it, I think it helps a lot. I think we have a confidence in our team, kind of like I said about what kind of team you were at the start of the season, middle of the season, really doesn't matter. You may pick up a lot of points then as a team, but it really has no effect on the team that you are at the end of the year. It's the same as the game. I don't care about the score 5 minutes into it, 10 minutes into it, 59 minutes into it. I care about the score at the end of the game, and that's it. And I think we have a belief that, like, if we keep doing some of the things we're doing, we're going to have our success.
Jesse, then Ryan.
Coach, I know you said that part of your thought process on splitting up or changing up the D pairs last game was you really liked Gerard and Taves together in the regular season, but it seems like you guys may have found something with Bo and Kale there as well.
Makes sense, yeah. I think that pair makes a lot of sense. You know, I mean, when you look at, say, Taser and Bo and compare them side by side, they do a lot of the same things well. And both guys are highly competitive on the defending side of it, can play against top players, which is really important if you're playing with Kale, that you can handle other teams' top guys. They're a pretty balanced lineup. So, but when you really evaluate those two guys as players and their ability to play in the offensive zone, their ability to help create offense with top players like Mac and Confer's line, you know, like it makes a lot of sense to put them there. And we've liked what we've seen so far.
Ryan Clark.
Jared, Seattle plays this aggressive forecheck that for them can be physically demanding. What sort of like tactical challenges does it present going against a system like that when you're looking at them on tape and in real time?
Well, number one, you got to work extremely hard to go back and get to pucks first. You know, I didn't think we did a very good job of that in game one or the start of game two. There's some things we can do up the ice to put ourselves in a better position to be able to handle that forecheck. But as the games have gone on, I think we've done a better job of getting in and out of our zone. But that first touch is really important, winning that race. And I touched on it in Denver, arriving first and third on those pucks so you have a next play. And that next play can't be a soft play, not against these guys, because they're going to get on top of you quickly, and you got to find a way to make sure you're getting pucks above their forecheck. And to be able to create any sort of rush attack, you have to be able to get out of your zone clean. And again, like, we've had our moments. Like, they got two tonight off the forecheck. Gorgiev turned one over by the net. We got hummed in our zone. They scored. The next one was Newhook, and they scored again. So, yeah, we made a mistake or two after that, but that's often the case. So getting in and out of your zone for either team or any team in the playoffs is really important.
Last question, Thomas and Peter.
Jared, you used the term, the sort of performance you expect from Nathan. 13 shot attempts, probably 5 or 6 grade A's, 2 goals, a highlight reel goal that everyone will see on ESPN. As a coach, when you're able to expect that sort of performance, what sort of luxury is it?
It's a huge luxury. I think whenever you get the opportunity as a coach to coach superstar players and you get in situations where games are even bigger and mean more and they're more important, and you know what you can expect from a guy like Nate, it's a high standard. You know, he sets that standard. We hold him to it. It's a tough standard to live up to on a nightly basis. I think there's games that go by in the regular season and you know, he'll have a handful of games through the course of 82 games where the media likes to get on him. The top guys were no good or whatever, but let's be realistic. It's a high standard that he sets, and we try to keep him to, and he generally lives up to it.
Last question, Peter.
He didn't play a ton tonight, but Ben Myers played a lot more than he did in game one. You had him out there a lot against the Bednar's line. What did he kind of do to maybe earn a bit more of your trust, and what did you see out of how he played?
He's not making any mistakes on the defensive side of things. Huge improvement from his game from the start of the year. And what I like to try and do is number one, a guy makes a mistake in a game, I try not to bury him for it. You know, if the rest of his game has been good, everyone makes mistakes. Miko made a mistake tonight on the goal. I like to give all of our guys the same type of leeway to be able to go out and play their game. So the consistency and the trust that he sort of builds this last time that he's been up with us, when he went back down to minors, went to work on his game, that's months of hockey that I don't see, okay? And when I bring him back up and we talk and then he starts to play, like, I'm not thinking about what he did at the start of the year, training camp, his second call-up. I'm just worried about that call-up. And he's been a trustworthy, hard-working guy that's made some plays with the puck. So I play him like that. You know, whether he just joined our team via trade, call-up, however we got him, that's how I treat him. And if he keeps earning that trust, then he'll continue to play important minutes.
Thanks, Jared.
Yep, thank you.
Thanks, Coach.